Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, dear friends. I am Correa, and we are here to welcome you to another Divine Laws program. This is a time when we meet to study the divine truths that shine light onto our many lives every day, allowing for us to make choices which lead us to greater happiness, because the more we are aligned with the divine truths, the happier we become as we prepare ourselves to fulfill God's will. Let us then render graces for God, towards God, Master Jesus, and the mentors that have prepared this moment, especially for each and every one of us. Welcome, beloved friends, and thank you for choosing to think the good, feel the good, and multiply the good together. Tonight, we will continue to study the third part of the Spirit's book by Allan Kardec. The focus of our attention tonight will turn to question 930. Let us then read the question, then study the answer, bring a couple of highlights to our attention, propose a therapeutic exercise, and close these moments with thoughts of gratitude. So, dear friends, in question 930, Kardec asks, it seems obvious that without the social prejudices that we allow to dominate us, we would always be able to find some sort of work that would enable us to make a living, even though in a lower position. Among those who have no such prejudices, however, who put them aside, aren't there those who are unable to provide for their needs as a result of illness or other causes independent of their will? Excellent question, particularly as we undergo a pandemic on a global scale, and many have been affected. Let us then hear the answer from the illuminated spirits. They answer in the following manner. In a wise society organized according to the laws of Christ, no one should die of hunger. Kardec then goes on to comment on the Spirit's answer by saying, with a wise and provident societal organization, people would never lack what is necessary except by their own fault, which is often the result of their environment. When they practice the law of God, however, there will be a social order founded on justice and solidarity, and they themselves will be better individuals. So, dear friends, we learn that the inequities present in our societies are the result of our own choices, if not in this life, in previous lives as well. How then do we measure where we are in terms of solidarity? Because the mentor spirits explain that once we practice the law of solidarity, we then will no longer experience lack on the earth. So, how then, dear friends, can we measure where we are? Because the purpose of all studies that we take part of is for us to analyze ourselves. Let us then turn our attention to ourselves and ask, how are we doing in terms of expressing solidarity? Let us give an example. What is our response when we see someone in need? particularly a brother or sister who does not have a home at the moment, and we may come across them while driving or walking. What is our reaction when we see them? Do we immediately think, oh goodness, if they just worked a little harder, if they just applied to one of the many jobs that are available now, if they just persevered, they wouldn't be in that situation. It is their fault. Do we blame others for where they are? Or are we able to immediately offer our support? If it is not financially, then through a positive thought, a positive word, or a prayer, or even a smile. Are we able to do that, dear friends? Because if we are able to open our hearts even more so than our wallets to the brothers and sisters in need, who the physical eyes are able to see, then we will therefore be able to extend our solidarity to those in the spiritual realm as well. So, this is one way for us to measure where we are in terms of the law of solidarity. Are we able to open our hearts when we see someone in need, particularly someone whom we do not know? Another scenario through which we can measure where we are in terms of our solidarity, ability to be understanding of others or empathetic, is, for instance, when we visit a spiritist center. Spiritist centers are schools of regeneration on the earth. How do we respond when we visit a spiritist center? Do we look around and make a list in our minds regarding everything that we would do better? Do we look at the person speaking and say, oh, we don't like the way they dress. We don't like their hairstyle. We wish they would speak more clearly, or we wish they would change their style of speaking. Or do we think, oh, this place is too small? There aren't as many people as we would like for this place to be reliable. Do we come with criticism when we visit a spiritist center, or do we go there to offer of ourselves? When, dear friends, we are in the position of offering of ourselves to others, then we are already marching towards becoming more empathetic, more understanding of others, more Christ like, and compliant with the law of solidarity. Justice, love, and charity is also connected to solidarity. This is a law to be understanding of others. So, where are we, dear friends, when we go to a new environment like a spiritist center? Do we already come filled with criticism, judgment, or are we there to offer of ourselves in gratitude? This is the thermometer through which we can measure our own spiritual progress. If we are able to join, for instance, co-workers or collaborators in a spiritist center, or our family circles, thinking of what we can give of ourselves and thinking of everything that we are grateful for that these people bring to our lives, how they enrich our experiences, then we are marching forward vertically, ascending in the scale of progress, becoming more aligned with the law of love, justice, and charity through the practice of solidarity. Dear friends, however, on the other hand, if we offer criticism, either unspoken or spoken, to the circles of which we are part, be it our family circle, our work circle, or the Spiritist community of which we are part, then we are a little further from the law of love, justice, and charity, and the practice of solidarity than we could be. What to do then, Carol? We may be wondering. Tonight is an invitation for us to realign ourselves. How shall we realign ourselves then? By replacing our instinctive thoughts. Let us give an example. If we, for instance, dear friends, criticize, we wrote the word criticize here, we replace the thought of criticism by a thought of appreciation and love. So we are going to write here gratitude. Perfect. So this is our exercise for the next 24 hours, replacing criticism by gratitude. In this way, we become more understanding of others. And this is how we march towards not only our individual progress, but the progress of the collective. And our Mother, Father, God counts on us for both. Let us then, dear friends, raise our thoughts in gratitude for this opportunity to understand the meaning and purpose of our reincarnation, all the more thanks to the divine laws and the efforts of Kardec and the illuminated spirits under the guidance of the Christ. So much gratitude that we are ready to count our blessings. Let us then continue feeling and acknowledging the blessings from on high, dear friends, as we continue as well tuned right here on Kardec Radio, where there's always more for us to nourish our souls together. Thank you, dear friends, for the gift of your presence. A big fraternal hug, and we look forward to seeing you again next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye for now.